What's up, Phantom Fam? Welcome back to another episode and another week of our little show. I'm Kate.
I'm Nat.
And I am Medium Bianca Rose.
This is Wading into the Void.
Oh, golly gee willikers. We have such an amazing episode planned for today. I'm so excited. We have a very special guest. Bianca, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Medium Bianca Rose. Happy full moon. So this evening, I join you ladies. I had the pleasure of meeting Nat at the Haunted Shanley, so obviously life is super synchronistic, and that is what has brought me here today.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm an evidential medium and channel, bridging the world of the living, the dead, and everything in between.
We love it.
I love that little... That's like a moniker. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Is that what that word is? Like, that's your, like, TM.
Really?
Trademark. That's your trademark.
Yeah.
I love it.
Goes to update Instagram caption right now. Just
No, I think that's like, is that what you have on your bio? I don't know. I don't remember.
I can only fit so much, so I've edited it quite a few times, but I'm an evidential medium, I'm a channel, I am a bridge for the dead. I'm literally a doorway, a gateway, a vessel, a human Ouija board, if you will.
I love that. Absolutely love that. So Bianca and we met, is it like already like a month or two ago? 2 months maybe?
It would be in February.
Yeah, so
wow. Oof.
February 10th, 11th, I think?
February 11th and 12th.
Yeah. Yes.
Pretty much.
So it's been almost 2 months that we've known each other.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. The past 2 months have gone by like crazy. So, the Oracle deck that we have for today, I absolutely love. It is straight and to the point. Love it.
Oh my.
It is the Rebel deck. Zero filter, zero fucks equals all fun. Honestly, it's one of my favorite oracles. It doesn't say who created it, but you can get it at rebeldeck.com if anybody's interested. But yeah. So I'm just gonna start shuffling, and you just let me know when to stop.
Okay, sounds good. I would stop right there.
Forwards or backwards?
Always forwards. I never go backwards.
Yes.
Am I the only one? Vinny said the same thing. He was like, always forwards. Well, I'm just like, to the back.
Always forwards. It's like positive. It's you gotta stay positive. But this card actually is not very positive. So. It just says, so on one side it says like the main thing about the card, and then it'll say like an additional sentence on the other side of the card. So this one says, "They broke your heart."
Oh.
And on the other side, it says, "Fuck them." Fuck them.
Is this for me?
I don't know.
Whose heart did you break, Bianca?
Who broke your heart?
Who's breaking my heart? Probably my children who suck the soul out of my body on a daily basis. Okay. Otherwise, life is fucking amazing. Like, I am so grateful for this amazing life that I am living. It's truly absolutely amazing. But then I always say I'm living this double standard because I have my children who suck my soul from me, and they don't give a fuck. They're disrespectful. They're mean. And like, everyone wants to stomp on Medium Bianca Rose, or in my case, Mom, all the time. So this is totally in regards to my family. And I want to shout that out to all the moms out there who put a smile on. You know, everything's always peachy, and it's not peachy. It's definitely not peachy.
I love that.
Bianca really said, "Fuck them kids." Fuck them kids.
Bianca, with much love. With much love.
Yeah, exactly.
Bianca, before we do the tarot, will you tell the people where you're hiding right now?
I am hiding in my truck because I didn't want any background noise. You know, it's one thing as if, you know, I'm doing a reading or something for one of my clients from my room, my office.
Yep.
And it's okay to have background noise, but this was a special occasion and I wanted no background noise.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
It's great.
So let's go to our tarot. So I'm coming back with the tattoo tarot that Katie got me for Christmas because I really like it and it is just very pretty. So the tattoo tarot illustrations are by Mega Munden. The design is by Johnny McCullough and the text is by Diana McMahon Collis. It's a lot to say, but
it's a bit of a mouthful, yeah.
But yeah, so I'll just start shuffling again, and you just let me know, Bianca.
Okay, right there.
Forwards?
Of course.
Okay. This is a really nice card.
I didn't know what you were going with that pause there. You were just like, ooh, yep.
Okay, so we got the Ace of Cups, which this deck is also very straight to the point. It just says, like, a mixture of words rather than an exact description. So this says, the cup overflows, outpouring of feelings, creative beginnings, fertility, seeds, pregnancy, birth, attraction, new relationship, fullness, abundance, greatest joy, perfection, fulfillment. Which, I mean, that's basically what Bianca just said.
It's my turn now to say fuck them kids.
But, well, I hope if nobody wants to be pregnant, hope they're not pregnant. But
No. This is not about pregnancy.
Yeah.
This is about, like, my explosive of Medium Bianca Rose. Like, I have blown up big and quick within the 2.5 years of working with the public. There's so much coming my way. There's some big opportunities. There's much abundance. There's much seeds being planted.
Yeah, totally.
Same here. I mean, we just gained 250 followers on Instagram in like 4 days. So
it's insane.
We're doing the same thing.
Perfect.
It's so crazy.
This is our year, Bianca.
This is our year. All of our year. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so, like I said, I am Medium Bianca Rose. I am from Long Island, New York, of course. So I'm an evidential medium and channel, bridging the world of the living, the dead, and everything in between. So I communicate with spirits through automatic writing. Okay. And I would definitely say it's much different than how other mediums work. It's like one step away from trans mediumship. I'm literally allowing souls to step into my body, kind of take over. And what they do is they pretty much control my hand, and they make me write words. And Nat, she saw for herself at the Haunted Family. It's definitely different. I haven't come across any other mediums who do what I do, except for Cindy Kaza, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She's on the Holzer Files. She's pretty famous. She's on the Travel Channel and everything. She is the one medium who works the way I work. So I communicate with spirits through my automatic writing, but I do not write with a pen. It slows me down. I just put my finger down, and they write very, very fast. Okay, so I usually allow my clients to record me because it just works so much better. and they could hold on to that forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I incorporate this gift, if you will, with the many clairs. So feeling, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting. It's literally the best way to describe it is I'm a human Ouija board. That's definitely the best way of really putting it into perspective. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's so freaking cool.
And it seems very fitting considering your gifts, you know?
Yes. It's been with me since I was a little girl. As a kid, it was terrifying.
Yes.
But here I am now sharing it with the world, and it's, I wouldn't change it for anything. So I work with the public privately, as well as performing at large venues, events, parties, mediumship demonstrations, fundraisers, gallery readings, in front of like large audiences, local restaurants, festivals, markets. I pretty much do it all, just to name a few.
Yep.
And then my work also consists of house clearings. So that would be for families who are struggling with maybe just simple negative energy. You know, families fight, things happen, and we bring that energy into the house, and it becomes stagnant and lingers and sticks to everything and everyone. So my job is to go in and to clear that negative energy. Or you could take things to the next level. I go into homes that are dealing with hauntings or negative entities that have slipped into the cracks. So I do that. I'm also a paranormal enthusiast, paranormal investigator, and I collect haunted dolls, currently in possession of 3 of them. Nat had the opportunity to meet one of them, who I brought, Shanley. They call her Lyrica, and I brought her because the haunted Shanley was once a brothel and a speakeasy, and this soul that attached itself to this doll that I own once ran her own brothel and speakeasy down in New Orleans. So I thought it was really appropriate to bring her with me.
Yes, and that was actually going to be one of my questions for you to talk about Lyrica, because I thought Katie would really love hearing about her.
Yes, so Bianca, I have a strange spiritual tether to New Orleans. For some reason, I don't know. I have always, similar to you since when I was a young child, I have been able to experience seeing the dead, and for most of my life I've kind of blocked out my own intuition, but I've recently started to try and tap into it a little more. Hence why I told you as soon as you came on that I started to smell cologne, which is something I have not done before. A couple weeks ago, the spirits I've been seeing have been popping through a lot more. I recently just had another medium come to my house, and she basically flat out told me, she's like, stop blocking your fucking gift and accept it. So I'm trying, but ever since, when would you say, Nat? Maybe senior year of high school? Out of fucking nowhere, I was New Orleans, dead set path.
Ever
right
since
on
we
it.
became best friends, you've been dead set on going to New Orleans, everything about New Orleans,
for some reason, I just was overcome with this sense I needed to learn the culture, I needed to learn the history, and I don't know why. I'm kind of just letting it guide me, and I will make my way down there eventually, and hopefully I just don't get murdered or something, because they're trying to call me to my death. I don't know.
No!
I bet you that you lived, I believe in past lives. I don't know if you've done past life regression, if you've gone into the Akashic records, but most likely you should, because I bet you one of your lives is tied to New Orleans, and it is very significant.
Wait, can you explain what you just said? The records, what is that?
Yeah,
the Akashic records is like a storehouse, okay, in your head that contains all of the lives you have lived, every memory, everything, past, present, and supposedly even future lives that you will be living.
Whoa.
So you would find someone who is an Akashic records, I guess, practitioner, and they would guide you into a very meditative state to guide you into your Akashic records. And you will find the lives that you have lived. And I've done it myself. I have a good friend up in Canada who brought me into the Akashic Records.
Uh-huh.
And I got to see a few lives that I've lived, and it was amazing.
That's so cool.
I would love to do that.
Me too.
It is really cool. The way mine looked was, some people's look like libraries. Mine was like tons of filing cabinets, like drawers filled with all of the books, and like floating candles everywhere. Kind of like something out of Harry Potter.
Katie? Katie loves Harry Potter.
Girl, you are speaking my language.
You need to try it. It's intense. My keeper in there, she was a little unsettling. Her eyes were completely all white.
There's
her
a
hair.
keeper?
She called herself the keeper, and she touched my forehead, and she put her finger on my forehead. That's when I kind of like went back in time, and then that's when I experienced going into these various lives. I got to see 2 of them, and it was intense. You got to try it. It is so cool. Like, it is so amazing.
So, does everyone have some kind of a keeper, or is that just exclusive to you and your
experience?
Yeah.
So after that whole experience, I Googled it, and apparently in the Akashic Records, they call themselves the Keeper, and I had no knowledge of this.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, so we'll be going on our Instagram stories later saying anyone that
knows anything about this, that can
I could hook you up.
Yes,
please.
I know that there's a psychic fair happening soon, Katie, within the next couple weeks that we should go to. I don't know. I'll have to look, but they might have someone there. I know at the last psychic fair that we went to, there was a witch doctor who did past life regressions. But I don't know if it would be the same thing.
Gotcha.
It's I've done both, and I got to see a life in my past life regression, and I got to see 2 lives in the Akashic Records.
Gotcha.
Essentially, it's the same thing, but I think the past life regression was more of like hypnosis. Like, it was it reminded me of hypnosis. Like, 1 minute I was awake, next minute I'm asleep, and then the hypnosis lady snapped her fingers, and I came back after seeing. Yeah, it was really crazy.
I want to know my past lives.
Like, where my gift is concerned, and I don't know about you, Bianca, and how it kind of presents itself to you, but whenever spirit is around me, I get absolutely frigid and freezing cold. Okay. So, like, anytime I'm in the presence of, like, another medium or someone that's even somewhat spiritual, I will turn, like, to an ice cube. So, anytime that I'm around anyone like that, I just get freezing cold. So, I could be, like, in Texas when it's, like, 110 degrees out, and I would have to put on, like, some type of jacket, and people would think I'm insane. So... I mean, I don't know how it works with you.
No, I say everyone has, it's like a thumbprint. Everyone has their own way of connecting and working. For me, since I was little, my finger would always trace, say I'd put my hand down on my lap, and out of nowhere, my finger would start drawing the figure 8 or a circle. And for years, I was like, why am I doing that? And it would freak me out because my finger would just start to write things uncontrollably, and it would start by doing the figure 8 or a circle. Now, here I am in my 30s, I understand that anytime my finger starts to just start randomly tracing the figure 8, it means it's the spirit in the room that wants to talk.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. It is definitely different.
I like it, though.
I love it,
I think it's super cool. Like, when we were at the Shanley, Bianca was so very kind to give us free readings for my family, and it was so cool to see her just in her zone doing her thing. And I think she posted it on her Instagram. I think you did, right?
I did.
Yeah,
I have it.
Which,
I went and started watching it afterwards, and I was like,
so
damn!
crazy. So crazy. I absolutely loved that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very nice.
Good. That is my intention.
Yeah, like all of your content that you're sharing on social media is 1, informative, and 2, just fucking cool.
Yeah.
So you're doing great.
Yeah, you're definitely on it. I think you're gonna blow up like crazy.
Hell yes.
Yes, that's the plan. Yeah. I want to see the world.
Yeah.
I want to see the world, and I want to help the world. That is, you know, I love everything that I do, but you know, there's also I'm helping so many people. Like it's mind blowing for even me sometimes. I'm like, am I real? Like, is this really happening? Is this really happening?
Yeah. So it's so interesting.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's wild.
So, Nat said when you were at the Shanley, because I keep wanting to call it the Stanley, no matter how hard I try, that you came across, who was it, Albert Fish?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Can you share a little bit about how you somehow were able to connect with that shithead? Like,
so, I don't know if you want to go directly into that, or if you want to like start from the beginning, or what do you want to do? Because I know you said
girl, carve your path.
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to, so with Albert Fish, I know in your last episode about the Shanley, you were talking about Albert Fish, and then you were talking about the priest, but I think the priest is Albert Fish.
Well, that is a plot twist. Okay.
One in the same.
I think he was portraying himself as the priest, and for the first time ever, when we were there together on February 11th, he finally came forward and stated his true name. Okay. Now, that lovely human, I don't even like talking about him. I'm like looking around in the car right now, like is he in the?
You're like sitting in the dark too. That's like even scarier.
Okay.
Well, I will tell you both that as soon as Bianca started to talk about him, I went freezing cold, and I just got goosebumps all over my whole body. So.
Okay. All right. So, do you want me to start from like the beginning? Like, should we jump right into him? Okay, so the Shanley, okay, not the Stanley, because the Stanley is in Colorado in the middle of freaking nowhere. Okay,
yes,
the Stanley is like is where The Shining was. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we got the Shanley. Now, before I knew what the Shanley even was, I had a dream. Okay, it was a dream. It was a vision. But in my sleep dream, okay? And I dreamt that I went to this big house upstate, middle of nowhere, and I saw myself in this house investigating with all these people, going through the various floors, and then I got to go outside, and I was looking at the house from an outside perspective, and I saw this tractor-looking thing, which still is in the parking lot there. And I looked up all the way at the top floor, and there was a witch in the top window, called herself a witch. And it was this whole vision about me going to this place, doing an investigation, it being super haunted, and that this witch occupied the 3rd floor. So a week or 2 goes by, and all of a sudden I come across the Shanley, and I book to go there and everything, and then I go there, and I'm like, holy shit, this was my dream. This was my vision. And lo and behold, guess who's on the top floor? The witch.
Yep.
You didn't get to meet her when we were there. She hides in one of the rooms that you can't even get into because there's no floor in that room.
Yeah, I think they blocked it off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I connected with this place before even going through a psychic dream vision, okay? So the first time I go there, I had the opportunity of going in the morgue. You didn't get to go down into the morgue. The morgue is in the basement.
Your face.
Is it spooky?
Oh my goodness.
Bitch, it's a morgue.
Now, back in the day, during the winter time, they couldn't bury bodies during the winter. The ground was too cold, too frozen. So when people died, and this place, I'm pretty sure, is cursed. There's so much death. It's one thing after another, even up to the, unfortunately, I don't want to say this, but even up to the present day owners, there's still death touching upon these families. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep. God forbid ears hear this, but there's been some deaths in even the current owner's life that was tragic. And it makes you think, like, there's got to be some sort of curse on this land. So, you know, for the amount of things that have happened in this place to have happened, it blows my mind a little. So back in the day, you know, no bodies could get buried, so they would bring them down there to the basement, and they would keep them there until the springtime, I guess, when the ground thawed. So they call it the morgue. So when I was down there, what we also used, which I don't think you got to use when I was there with you, was the SLS camera. So an SLS camera is what you could use to see spirits. They look like stick figures. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we use that down there, and down in the morgue, there's a portal in this one area, I guess, where they stored the bodies, and you could see multiple stick figures on the footage. I think I have it on my Instagram. Okay, so that was really interesting. You didn't get to experience down there. I don't know what's creepier, the third floor or the morgue.
Okay.
You know?
I don't know. The third floor is pretty creepy.
So was the morgue. Sitting in the morgue, dark.
I could see that.
Yeah. So, the first time I was there, I got to do those things, which you didn't really get to experience. But also, there was a lot of people there that time. So I really liked going the second time when you were there.
Yeah.
Because it was me.
Like no one.
It was just you, your family, and me and my partner. We literally had the place to ourselves. It was essentially, we had it private, which was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So the first time I also channeled for everyone that was there. You know, I channeled the spirits of the house, and I did pick up on some of the people, but I mostly focused on the house itself, which was really interesting. Okay. I have that video too on my Instagram. Now there's a ghost cat, which you spoke about. Okay, so the first time I was there, I heard the ghost cat on the third floor, up near Adam's room, the serial killer.
Charming fellow.
And then the second time I was there, again, I got to experience this disembodied voice of a cat. The second I got there to go up to my room, which I stayed in the Rose room, as we were unlocking the door, we heard the cat meow right next to us, like as if it was by our feet.
Aww.
Which is really cool, because you don't usually get to experience disembodied voices with your actual ear. So that was pretty amazing. Now, the first time I stayed in the silent room, and you didn't get to stay up there. You were down in the bordello. You were down, not the bordello, the gentleman's quarters.
Yep.
So I'm alone on the second floor. Just me and Chris on the second floor, completely alone. But the first time I stayed there, I stayed in the silent room, and in the middle of the night, for my maybe 3 hours of sleeping, I woke up to a man screaming at me, going, "Hey you!" Like trying to wake me up.
It is not funny.
Like, loud, as my eyes popped open, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm awake. What's going on?"
Yeah.
Like, I only fell asleep for maybe 5 minutes. What do you need, sir? And that room, the silent room, belonged to a man. I forget his name, but he would go there when he wanted to drink. And apparently he lived down the road or in town or whatever with his wife. And she didn't want him coming home drunk to him, so he would spend the nights there in the silent room. Literally his picture's in a picture frame in that room. So I'm pretty sure that had to be the man who was screaming at me, going, "Hey! Hey, you!" So that room was really interesting, because I actually got to hear loud, disembodied voices screaming at me in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's really scary.
Okay. Yes, and even like as a medium, I don't hear that all the time. When you don't hear someone else's voice as a medium all the time, and when you do, it's usually unsettling. It doesn't really work that way. So that was really interesting. Also, the first time I was there, I kept having to use the bathroom from drinking so much espresso, and I was terrified. I was terrified to use the bathroom alone, and I had my friend with me on that trip. So every time I went to go pee, she would come with me, and I was giving her privacy when she was peeing, and I sat in the shower, okay? And I didn't know that it was wet in there from somebody showering. So then when I went downstairs, my ass was wet. I had to change my pants. It looked like I pissed myself, and the spirits came through the spirit box that they were running, talking about my pants being wet. I was like, wow. They were watching me. They watched me sit in a puddle of water in the shower. That place was just so amazing. Like, there's so much activity there, and like so many things to validate their presence. It's just mind-blowing. Yeah. So that was all the first time of me being there. Also, when I channeled for everyone, speaking to the spirits of the house, they told me about hidden papers in the walls. Like, as if there's a hidden book in the walls. Maybe it's like a blacklist of names that maybe people that were murdered. Because, the mob did reside there, the Irish Mafia, back in the early 1900s. So apparently there's some really important little black book hidden in the walls. And the owner, Kelly, told me that I am not the first medium to bring this up.
Interesting.
Yes. So that was brought up my first time being there. Also, I was physically sick. I was so sick the first time I was there. I was, when you're so nauseated, you're like gagging. You're doing that gag thing.
Yeah.
I was doing that for at least heavy for like 2 days. I was so sick to my stomach from the amount of souls in that place. I was so sick. I prepared myself a little bit better for my second appearance in February. I made sure I ate very, very clean, water, exercising, because I wanted to make sure I went into that place so clear and so prepared that they wouldn't make me sick.
And so honestly, when I was there too, I felt really nauseous, and I don't think that I have any. I don't know. I don't think I have any kind of special abilities or anything like that. Like, I believe in stuff, but I was feeling really nauseous the whole time we were there.
How do you feel right now?
I don't know. Katie's making weird faces and she's freaking me out.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. Nat has a woman that lives in her house. Like a dead woman. And
that's okay.
Her camera keeps freezing and glitching in one section. And for me is the top left corner. It's where her window is. And
I can't even see you guys. I don't even know how to do this.
all the time I tell her I feel like there is something right there over your shoulder, and I shit you not, I have seen a face appear in that window about a dozen times.
Oh,
and it's driving me nuts.
Oh my god.
It'll pop up and then it'll go away and it'll come back. And it's coinciding with the goosebumps and everything that's coming through on my arms.
Maybe that's why I sit like this all the time, unknowingly.
Yeah, so I get a front row view of Carol.
Oh, we love Carol. She's awesome.
Neither of you, so I don't know.
Well, that's okay. Now I'm like...
Well, at least you're not in a truck in the dark, so...
That is true.
That's true.
Maybe you should leave your camera off. So I don't see any weird things.
Yeah, we're gonna get jump scared.
I'm like, holy shit, that's Albert Fish.
Oh no.
Definitely not welcome in my truck. So, first time was really cool. Now, let's jump to the second time where I got to meet you.
Yeah.
So, upon arriving, I go up to the room and I hear the ghost cat, whatever the cat's name is. I don't know, ghost cat. This cat meowed so loud. Me and my boyfriend both looked at each other and I was like, you heard that, right? Like, as if it was by our feet. We both heard it. And I'm like, okay, all right, welcome. I guess, welcome. So we stayed in the Rose Room. And now, I picked the Rose Room because, one, it had a bathroom in there, and I didn't have to travel down the hallway in the middle of the night to pee, like the first time, wondering if something was going to kill me, okay? So I was able to use my bathroom all night with the door open and everything. But I also picked that room because I've seen video footage of lights turning on and off, doors closing. I was hoping it was going to be really active in there. Now, it was. I use cat balls, which you saw. Spirits touch them and they light up. They're like these little balls that you would technically buy for your cat. But people use them for investigations. They'll put them with their haunted dolls, haunted oddities, whatever items that are haunted throughout their home. So they would get lit up, by the spirits to let them know, that they want to communicate. So I have that going off throughout the night. Now I set up a video camera. I have no evidence. For some reason on the video camera that we used that entire evening, the 2 days of being there was no sound. It was completely corrupted. So the only evidence I caught was everything on my phone while streaming on Instagram and everything.
That happened to us too.
Yep.
Shut up. Seriously?
Seriously. If you I'll have to find it. I have to bring all my stuff in from the Shanley still, all my camera and stuff like that. But as soon as we entered Joe's room upstairs on the 3rd floor and sat in his chair, the camera completely glitched out and the screen froze and everything was all messed up.
Yeah, I think we had volume in the very beginning and then that's it.
Yeah.
Everything that was recorded had no sound. No sound. I really wanted to catch maybe EVPs while sleeping for the 3 hours of sleeping. But nothing. It's all corrupted. There's no sound. So if something did happen, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
But when I woke up the next morning in that room, it was like as if someone dumped a bucket of water on my chest. My shirt was soaked. And not like I was sweating, like as if someone dumped a bottle of water on my chest. It was so weird.
Whoa.
It was, I don't even know. And that room was freezing. It was freezing. I wasn't sweating. So as for the Rose Room, that's what I've got, But my cat balls were going off, they were talking a ton through the spirit box and everything. That was really cool. Yeah. So I brought Lyrica along, as I said earlier, because I figured it would be like, going home, going back to the brothel.
Yeah.
Now, we all began downstairs in the seance room, and that's where, here we go, Mr. Fish. Mr. Fish decided to come through. Who I believe is the priest. The priest is Mr. Fish. I don't want to talk about him too much because he really bothers me and freaks me out. He's a sadist. He does really disturbing, sick things. And unfortunately, he followed me and Chris home to Long Island after that trip. Because we had him talking through our devices for about 2, maybe 3 days, along with Anna, which is one of the ladies of the night up in the brothel. Her too, talking through our device.
Well, she
but he
really
came home.
did like Chris.
She did. She followed us home, and he did too. And I was like, "What the hell? Cannot be here in my house because I have children."
Yeah,
that was his. he was really sick and ate children and did really fucked up things. And right down the road from me, maybe 15 minutes away, is his hometown. I think he owned a farmhouse or something over in Farmingdale.
Yep.
So that makes sense why he decided to come back to Long Island with me. Yeah.
Terrible, disgusting human being.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed doing the Estes experiment with you ladies there. That was so cool.
Yes.
That was really awesome.
It was really cool in the seance room, and then when we went to the bordello, that was crazy too.
That was my favorite. How later on, I think it was like 2:30 in the morning with you ladies, and we went up there. That was so cool. The flashlights were going on and off, and they were like screaming at Chris to get out of the room, and like it was really, really cool. That was awesome. I definitely need to try that in the future, like other places and stuff, because I never did that before. You know, it's more validating for people who can't really communicate with the dead on their own. To, you know, to have one person with headphones, another person sitting elsewhere asking questions.
And
it was really
easy to do if you just have a partner too. It's like such an easy thing that gives you a ton of validation.
Yeah,
definitely. That was so cool. Also, what else? That place is wild. When I was trying to go to sleep for the 3 hours of sleeping, my lovely partner, he passed right the hell out and is snoring. Okay? And I'm laying there, and because I'm a medium, I hear like voices in my head, but like they're not foreign voices. It's like in your own voice, if that makes sense. And there was so much talking and chattering, and I'm like, please stop, I need to go to sleep. I'm like, not now. And it was just like, oh my god, I can't even tell you exactly what was happening. And I was just like so freaked out, and I'm like, please stop making all this noise. And there was like tapping and knocking and all this just noise. Eventually I went to sleep for a few hours and then woke up soaking wet as if someone pissed on my chest. I don't even know.
That's why you were so wet, because they remembered you as the peed your pants girl from the night before.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? You should have a bucket of water dumped on you. That makes a lot of sense.
They're like, you didn't shower, allow me.
You know, I did also pick that room because I was like, ooh, bathroom with a shower. It was an old claw bathtub from like the 1900s. I don't know if anyone has ever used it. You can't take a shower. It's literally just a bathtub. I was like, all right, definitely not showering. Like, that's the type of tub that someone's body was dismembered and chopped up in, and like used whatever products. What do they do? Bleach? Some special bleach to dissolve it?
I don't even know.
I wouldn't know.
Acid, type of acid.
Yeah.
Maybe like a bunch of citric acid mixed with bleach.
I don't know.
I should know this. No, I should know this because I was just watching what is it called? The Yellow Jackets on Showtime.
Oh, yep.
And she mentioned what type of bleach you use. Clean up everything. I don't know. I definitely don't know.
She's like, I don't know. Wink.
Wink, wink. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the Shanleys, that place is special. Oh my goodness. And the biggest thing of all, I think, the second time when I was there, is everyone, you guys left, I think. You guys just left, and no one's in the building, you know? It's just the owner and, what's her name? Stephanie, okay? They were in the living area, and then you close the door to the living area, and you've got stairs going upstairs to the next 2 floors. It's like completely secluded, as you remember. and you guys left, and my partner, he took all the luggage out to the car, and I knew that he took everything, but something kept like pulling me to go up the stairs. Like, go check if he grabbed that last bag, Bianca, that you left at the top of the stairs. But like deep in my heart, in my soul, I knew that he took it. And for whatever reason, I let the spirit sway me to suck me back up the stairs. And I decided to go upstairs by myself. And I walk all the way up the stairs. I look to the left, I look to the right. I'm like, okay, he took my last bag. I turn around, and just as I turn around, I hear a voice, and there's nobody around me. I'm alone. And it goes, okay. I couldn't decipher if it was a male or a woman, but it was the loudest disembodied voice, actual voice that I have ever heard in my life. It literally said bye, but like it was whispery and like kind of hoarse. It was like, and it waited until my back turned, and I could tell it came from the right side of me, which was going along the direction of all of the doors on the one side, pretty much off to where my room was. And it waited. It called me up there so it could say goodbye to me. And I swear on my children, it was the loudest disembodied voice I've ever, like, it literally, it said goodbye. It said bye. It said bye. And I like, the hairs on my neck stood up. And my eyes just got really big, and I went, okay, bye. And I walked down the stairs, and I couldn't believe it. I ran into the other room to go tell Kelly and Stephanie, and they just kind of looked at me. I don't know if they believed me or not, or if they were just like so used to it. But it blew my mind. I was like, did I really just experience that? And I videotaped nonstop with my phone, like on Instagram. I'm like, wow. The one thing that I don't get on camera.
Yes.
But who knows if the camera would have even picked that up? Because that's the funny thing about spirits. They could decide what device they're going to show up on, who's going to hear them, you know? Because that's just how they work.
They finicky little bitches.
I thought that was wild. That, like, it's like for days, my jaw was just hanging. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, did I really just experience that? And that's coming from me, this woman that talks to the dead all the time, you know?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
That place is wild. That place is amazing.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back.
Yes.
Invite me. Tell me when. I would totally go back.
I think we were thinking about renting the whole house out, so...
Take me with you.
Yes! Ghost hunt! And I won't be afraid to go back to the third floor.
I'll just be vibing.
On the third floor, you hear a lot of footsteps.
Yes.
They're very active with the cat ball lights, the other lights. Also, the music box. You know, it's like a coffin-shaped music box, and a spirit has to, you know, they call it the phasm box, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when a spirit passes by it, it'll go off, and it plays the creepiest tune ever.
It's
so
funky.
You know, it sounds like an old music box, pretty much.
Love it.
And that floor is so active with the footsteps, with the music box, with lights going on. And a lot of touching. I felt a lot of touching on my legs.
It was happening to just about everyone. Everyone was like, I feel like somebody's touching my knee, somebody's like running their hand down my leg, like, it was crazy.
My legs a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, my legs a lot touched. That place is wild. It's definitely one of my top favorite places to ever go because of how involved it is. Like, if you were to go to, like, the Lizzie boarding house, you do not have full range to the house like you do there. Yeah. You rent a room, and you've got the room, I'm pretty sure, and, like, that's it.
I can attest that that is true.
Yeah. And, like,
it's been a hot minute since we recorded that one, but yes, that one is true.
I think the Shanley really has something special, and I think it's a really great place to visit if you want to investigate and see some spooky stuff.
Yeah, it's very hands-on, definitely.
Yeah. And now I'm so jealous that I didn't get to go the first time.
You definitely
How dare
have to
I
go.
had plans.
Yeah, you definitely have to go. We'll go again, and we'll make sure Bianca is included.
Yeah. Also, they provide you with so much equipment. Everyone gets like a spirit box. It's very, very hands-on. I recommend this place constantly to people because of how interactive and hands-on it is, and what you really get for your money.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It's well worth it. It
Well
is.
worth
It definitely,
Of course, yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
My throat is going. One of you lose someone to cancer?
Not throat cancer, but
Mm.
breast cancer.
Mm.
Wait,
My
did I?
throat's completely cut off. Someone that had a hard time breathing.
Like, lungs.
Well, my grandfather couldn't breathe towards the end. He couldn't bleed.
Definitely could be him.
He likes to fuck around with my podcast equipment, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was tormenting you in the slightest. So
He could definitely hang out. That's for sure. I'm good with it.
are you sure?
Katie gets a reading on the podcast.
If you ever want me to come on and do readings, by all means, let me know.
Yeah, that would be so
That
much
would be
fun.
amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be
Girl, start
interested.
riffing.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, this way, I totally love doing that. I like giving back. I like doing free readings. I'll go like live sometimes on Instagram and give free readings for people, just to give back to the community, because not everyone could afford to get a reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
True.
love that.
It's just a good way of giving back.
Mm-hmm.
As I choke.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Let me
Grandpa.
light another incense stick. Banish my grandfather away.
No. I just tell Grandpa to back up.
You see, he's never been a good listener, so.
Men are stubborn.
Mm. All right, Nat, do you have any more questions for Bianca?
When are you coming back on the podcast?
Whenever you want. I mean, I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about. I know we're meeting up in May
Yep.
at
Yes.
the Penhurst Asylum.
I know,
Okay.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're going to be spending, I don't know, are you going for the 3 full days? It's the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st
I
at
think we're just going the
Penhurst.
20th and
20th.
21st.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
All the tickets were sold out from the 19th with the early access and everything. So,
Yeah, it's like a VIP party.
Mm-hmm.
yep. We didn't
Okay,
get in.
well.
We're not that cool yet.
You will be. You will be.
Bianca's like, you
Yeah,
wait
you
for me. Hair flip.
No.
So yeah, we'll definitely.
You gotta like get your.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you gotta get your foot in the door. Like, you gotta stay like on top of things. You gotta keep your eye out, like what's coming up, what paracons are happening, what's happening where, and try to just get first dibs. Like get in there before everyone else does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be trying our very hardest to put our name out there when we go. We'll be wearing our Wading into the Void shirts with our names and
Yep.
have business cards and everything. So hopefully
Nice.
we can
That's
get a little
Yeah.
bit.
Our merch on the back.
Hmm.
All the fun stuff.
Nice.
We don't
that's
want
a
to
good
be
idea.
too promotional, though. You know what I mean? Like, Because it's not about us when we go. We're trying to make connections and meet other people. So we don't want to be too, like, showy, you know?
Mhm.
But we'll show up and they'll just be like, oh, those two again.
No. You'd be surprised. This industry is booming and growing at such a fast rate. I think we are all coming into this at the perfect time. It's finally more accepted and understood in the world.
Yeah.
Versus back in the day, you know, it was such a taboo. You know, I know I spent my entire teenage years, childhood, keeping this to myself because after many years of people being like, you're crazy, maybe you're schizophrenic, maybe you should see a doctor, I was like, oh, I should probably stop telling people that I could talk to the dead, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I do know.
yeah, so here we are today, like, it's a whole new world. This is big. This is upcoming. This is finally accepted. I think it's amazing. Like, I live this, I breathe this. This is truly something special, that's for sure.
Yes, it is.
Yes, we are very happy and excited too because this is everything that we love.
It really is.
Yeah.
We should go back to your parents' house and do the Estes method.
We should. We really didn't get to play with the spirit box at my parents' house, so.
No, but homie really loved those dowsing rods.
You gotta use the spirit box. That's definitely my favorite. I have the S box, which is really cool because it comes with the option of popping a little SD card into it, and you can record everything that's coming through at the same time. And I always leave it on the AM band because it's all static. So if voices are going to come through, like, you know it's legit. It's definitely, I got it off of ghoststop.com.
Yeah.
I think it was like, I don't know, maybe $90 at most. Definitely my favorite. It's definitely my favorite.
We might have to invest.
We might have to, yeah.
It's a great investment. I love that thing. In the future, I would love one of those actual spirit boxes that cuts out the noise.
Yeah. Yes.
It's thousands of dollars.
Yes, it is.
But not that I need it, but it's just so cool to show other people.
It is cool. Yeah. It is really cool.
You know?
The one thing about those that, like, really sets me on edge is, like, when the spirit just, like, starts to, like, put their foot through the door, but then they get a little nervous when they hear that first blip and they back out, and it's just like a howl. And I'm like, oh.
I mean, it also depends on the spirit. They too have to, like, we have to learn how to use it. I would say they have to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, when I invite them into my house and I try to use that device, I have to tell them, we're not using me. We need to talk through this today. Try not to go through my body. You gotta go through the device.
Yep.
They automatically want to, like, hop inside me and talk through me.
Yep. It's like that one meme where they're like, ooh, this place is nice. Now, Bianca, before we wrap this one up, one question that we're getting in the habit of asking everyone that we interview. And it's a very important question.
Sure.
What is your favorite cryptid?
That's so hard. Because I'm kind of afraid of I'm terrified of aliens.
Yep.
Okay. If you want to talk about aliens, I've had some creepy experiences with aliens.
Okay.
Don't even want to go there because it's. I would be so afraid upon meeting Bigfoot, Mothman, or those creepy things that are like crawling down the hallway like they're a spider, like on all fours.
Yes.
Like whatever those are. Like, no, I don't want to meet any of those. Maybe La Llorona, if I'm saying her name right.
Yes.
She's really interesting.
Mhm.
You know who she is? She collects children, okay, which is unfortunate. But it's because she had such a messed up life and such tragic things happen to her that now she comes to, she like takes children's souls with her and brings them down usually into the lake.
Yeah, La Llorona's a pretty sick cryptid, like in multiple different ways, but
she's really, I find her fascinating. Cryptids scare me though.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
Some of them are a little freaky.
I don't mind speaking to the dead. I love talking to the spirit. I live for it. But when it comes to the other stuff, I don't know. Maybe because it's like much more tangible. I don't know. Like it hit me apart. Like I guess like really bad possessions, like poltergeists and stuff. Yeah, that's dangerous. But I grew up in a house with poltergeists, bed shaking, light bulbs exploding in my face. They would take the knives and hide them on all of the ledges of the doorways. I grew up in a really haunted house, so for me, it's normal.
Ma'am, I think we would like to have you back for a listener story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we get really deep into like the beginning of Medium Bianca Rose, my story is crazy.
Yeah, we would love to hear that sometime.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
When you come back, for sure.
Okay. Definitely.
All right, Nat, this is your ep. You have to wrap this up. Can you do it?
Yes. No. Maybe. So, Bianca, before we do our final outro for this episode, is there anywhere, anything that you want to shout out that you want our listeners to know about you or about anything that you're a part of?
Wow. I don't know. So, I would stay with me, because this is about me. I was dabbling in a nonprofit group, a paranormal group here on Long Island, which I am still a part of at the moment. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay with it, okay? Because I'm Medium Bianca Rose, and I think I just need to stay Medium Bianca Rose.
Yeah, you are that bitch. You are that bitch.
I am. We could talk about me. Give us
some socials.
I am based on Long Island, okay? I do house calls. I travel all over Nassau County, Suffolk County, even going out towards like New York City and everything for my clients, okay? So I do Zoom calls also for anyone out there for all of my out-of-state clients. So that's anywhere in the United States and internationally. So, going into Canada, going into Europe. And my Zoom calls, if you want a reading with me, they are always recorded, and I email it to you afterwards. For my in-person clients, I always allow people to record me with their phone. And that's not something most people do. So I think that's a huge perk, for now at least, because it's so much to take in, and I want my clients to keep it forever. It's so special, it's so intimate, it's so personal. So I always do that. Now, I do have, you can find me on Instagram, Medium Bianca Rose. You could find me on, I started a YouTube channel. It's very new. It's very raw. It's not that popular. It's there. I do have a TikTok, same thing. Facebook, same thing. It's Medium Bianca Rose, Psychic Medium Bianca Rose. My website is www.mediumbiancarose.com. I am Google verified. If you look me up, I'm everywhere. Just type in Medium Bianca Rose. My most popular thing is my Instagram. I do a lot of stuff on my Instagram. But I do have all those other platforms as well. No podcast, though. That's why. So when it comes to upcoming events, there's a lot of stuff happening this month in April, but I won't start there. I guess we could jump into May. I will be, if any of your listeners are here on Long Island, I'm going to be at the Beltane Festival in Huntington on Long Island. It's all day from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's May 6th. I'm going to be doing a really large mediumship demonstration free for the public. So hundreds and hundreds of people will be sitting there watching me as I read random various guests out of the audience. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'm going to be, maybe you should go, at White Hill Mansion in New Jersey on May 13th. That's another paranormal expo. Katrina Weidman from Portals to Hell will be there, and many others. I love her. Yeah.
We'll have to look into that.
That's at the White Hill Mansion on May 13th. Then we've got the Paracon, at Penhurst Asylum, which is the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st, which is going to be amazing. One of the most haunted asylums in America.
Yes.
Jumping into June, on June 10th, for anybody that might be on Long Island, I'm going to be with Moonlight Market from 4 until midnight. Okay, at the Great South Bay Brewery, Ghost Brewing Co. in Bayshore. That's a really huge event on Long Island. They have social media on Instagram. It's just Moonlight Market, Long Island. They do some of the biggest spooky events on the island a couple of times a year. Then I will be performing a big mediumship gallery reading, like on stage, July 16th at this really cool place called Industry in Huntington as well. So you can follow me on social media for all those things. Now, we've got some more Paracons coming up. There's the Psychic Fair Fest. That's August 18th and 19th in Stratford, Connecticut. And that's from the people who bring you Paracon in Connecticut, Salem Paracon, and the Amityville, New York Horror Paranormal Con. That's going to be at Two Roads Brewery from 1 to 7 on the 18th and the 19th. That's a big event. Then jumping in September, for anyone that goes to like upstate New York in Tarrytown, you've got the Sleepy Hollow Paracon Expo. That's the 15th and the 16th, 10 to 5. That'll be at the Westchester Marriott, and that's organized by Maine Ghost Tours. These are all really big events.
Yeah.
And then in November, this is another big one. You got the Salem Paracon in Salem, Massachusetts. That's November 11th and 12th. That's going to be at the Salem State University from 10 to 5. That's another really big one. And I'm sure there's like so much more that I could throw at you guys, but those are just some of the really big paranormal expos, okay? Like these are the things where all the big dogs, from like the Travel Channel are showing up. There's going to be, like Destination Fear, Ghost Hunters Taps, Chip Coffee, Kindred Spirits. All the people that you would know through TV are going to be at these big Paracons. So these are really good things even for you guys to show up at, because this is where it's at. This is, if we want to go into the more spookier side of the world, of this industry.
Yes. I want to go to Sleepy Hollow and Salem again.
Yes.
Definitely going to have to look into those.
The Connecticut one sounds pretty good, too.
That one does, yeah.
Yeah, there's some big stuff coming up. It's going to be a really spooktacular year.
Yes.
You heard it here first, folks. It's the year of the spook.
It is the year.
All right, Nat. It's time. Let's wrap her up so Bianca can go spend some time with those hellions. I mean, her children.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I do not have an outro.
Shocker.
Boom.
Would you like me to do it?
Yes, please.
And without further ado, you guys know the drill. Follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, kind of at Wading Into the Void. And if you want to shop our merch or support us by shopping our merch, you can find us at www.wadingintothevoid.com. And Nat will give you a little rundown on how you can support us through our donation platforms.
So we have 2 different ways that you can donate to us. We have a Patreon, which we may or may not have plans for in the future. Stay tuned.
Transparency.
And then, of course, we have Spotify for podcasters. So there is a link on our Spotify page if you would like to donate to us. I think the lowest you can donate is 99 cents, a whopping $1. It might not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to us. So those are your
and
options.
That is the rehearsed spiel, my guys. And
buy these ladies a coffee.
Yes!
Do it. Or pay for maybe like half a mile of gas for us to get to Paracon.
Yeah.
And until next time, Phantom Fam, don't be so cool, or I guess do be so cool, to stick around with the one and only Medium Bianca Rose. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye.